get me wrong.
Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. This is Funmibi here again with another headgear tutorial, or should I call it fascinator tutorial. In today's video I'll be showing you all how I made this stunning piece of fascinator for a client. You guys agree that this looks absolutely gorgeous and absolutely extra. So if you'd be interested in knowing how you can make something like this for yourself or for your client or for anyone around you, please make sure you watch this video to the end. Also, please don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up and share with anybody that you think would love this type of content. Also, please don't forget to subscribe. All right guys, let's get straight into today's video. Let's go. Alright guys, so you need to start off with a piece of fabric. Okay, for this particular tutorial I'm going to be using this ASOOKE fabric. You need your feather, of course. If you're interested, this particular one is optional, you don't have to add feather. You need your ruler, of course, for marking measurements, your scissors, your soldering iron, your glues, your thread snipper, as well as your boning. So boning is something that tailors use in making outfits, but this is what I'm going to be using in this particular tutorial to achieve my spiral outlook at the end of the day. So yeah, once that is done, I'm now going to go ahead to divide my ASOOKE. Those that are familiar with my channel already know how the process goes, but for those that are new, what I'm doing here is I'm marking 1/2 inch all over this piece of ASOOKE. And once I'm done marking those 1/2 inch, I will now start to divide my ASOOKE into tiny strips using my soldering iron. While using your soldering iron, please be careful, because yeah, we know that soldering iron gets hot and it can, get really messy if you're not careful. So if you're not familiar with using soldering iron, I suggest that you do without it. Maybe you use your scissors and then try to use fire to burn the edge of your ASOOKE so it doesn't fray. Or if you absolutely want to use your soldering iron, be extremely careful while working with it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just marking that 1/2 inch dimension that I mentioned earlier, and I'm now going to draw straight lines and now start to divide those straight lines into tiny strips of fabric that I will now use to form my spiral situation. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like. I've not finished dividing my fabric, so what I'm doing is just using my soldering iron as shown on the screen to divide my ASOOKE into little strips. This particular procedure was quite intense. It took me a long time to do it, but at the end of the day I was able to divide the entire ASOOKE that I had with me into tiny strips that I now later used to wrap my boning. Everything I'm mentioning now you're going to see, so make sure you stay glued to your screen and follow along with me. Alright guys, so I lost a particular footage, but this is how far I have gone with wrapping my boning with my ASOOKE fabric. But yeah, you want to start off by applying a bit of glue and then attaching your fabric, and now start to just wrap your fabric all around your boning. Okay, you want to cover up the boning, so that's exactly what I'm doing here. I applied a bit of glue at the beginning of this particular strip because it's different portions of strips of fabric that we are working with, so you just continue from wherever you stopped, use your glue, and now start to just wrap all around till you're out of either boning or fabric. So I'm not going to do too much talking here. It's pretty self-explanatory when you watch, so I'm going to allow you guys watch me wrap my fabric up to some extent, and then I will now continue explaining the remaining parts of the video to you guys.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Now, no words no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Now, no words no more, no. I really thought we had it covered. Was gonna patch up all the scars, but we smashed up all the parts. Oh, nah, nah, nah. Always knew that you were stubborn, but didn't know it'd be so hard to figure out who you really are. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down.
Alright guys, so when I got to the end of my boning, I realized that I still needed more ASOOKE. So what I'm doing now is just going through that process again, marking ½ inch and then wrapping, and this is what the final look looks like. I was able to wrap the entire 6 yards of boning with ASOOKE. It was a long process. This process took me about an hour, so yeah, brace yourself if you are planning to replicate this particular type of headgear. So what I'm going to do now is to now form my spiral situation. For my client, she wanted the spiral to be in 9 steps. Okay, for you, you might make yours shorter. Okay, if you are doing something shorter, you don't need so much boning, right? The amount of boning you are going to need depends on the amount of spiral, like circle like kind of spirals. That's what will determine how long your boning would be. So if you're working with maybe 4 spirals, maybe like 1.5 yards of boning or 2 yards of boning would do. But for me, I was working with 9 layers of, you know, spiral situation. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, you guys understand what I'm saying. So I needed a lot of boning. So that's what I'm doing here, just trying to wrap my boning around to give me that spiral situation. And this entire process was pretty easy. You just need to keep rolling your boning around until you get the desired outlook that you're looking for. So yeah, I'm just going to keep quiet again, allow you guys watch what I'm doing, so you basically get an idea of how you're going to go about it when you are doing your own for yourself, and then I'll be back to continue the tutorial.
Yeah, on me, yeah, no escaping from my mind, but low key, you know that you one of a kind, wanna show me, baby, the things you feel do with that body, yo, show up everywhere that I be, yo, all you wanna do is party, yo, I know, I know, you are the type that they want me about, yeah. When I'm with you, all the wrong feels so right, yeah. She the real thing, but she cold-hearted like Greenland. Church girl moving like a queen pen. Hey, yeah, my thing, yeah, my thing,
Alright guys, so this is my boning after I was done, you know, wrapping it all around. It was quite a process, but I was able to achieve what I was looking for. I got my 9 layers of spiral, and now it will be time for me to secure the spiral in place. First of all, you want to glue the spiral in place, and then you now need your regular thread to just tie that portion so you don't lose the spiral. Okay, you need to make sure you tie it securely. Okay, keep going around with your thread until you are sure that the spiral is not moving an inch. And once that is done, you just secure your wrapping, and that will be it for this portion of the tutorial. The next thing you want to do now is to attach this spiral to your headband. I already went ahead to, you know, tidy up my headband, wrap my headband. For those that are new here, if you don't know how to wrap a headband neatly, I'm going to link a tutorial on the screen, so feel free to go check out that tutorial so you become a pro at wrapping headbands. So what I'm going to do now is just figure out where I want to place my spiral on, and then go ahead to place it on with glue. I also went ahead to stitch this spiral onto my headgear. I used an invisible thread. So for you, you might decide to use a matching color of thread or your invisible thread. I feel like that part is left for you to decide. Also, I just went ahead to basically like hold my feather in place because my client wanted this feather situation to be going on with our own headgear. And then the next thing I did was to use this little strip of ASOOKE fabric to just cover up all the tying and the sewing and all of that. You want to use this to just cover all the stitches that you've done to just make your work look really neat at the end of the day. For covering it up, I used glue. I didn't sew it in place because yeah, it was a bit difficult to do my sewing because the spiral and everything. It was just too chunky for my regular needle and thread. The next thing I did as a form of accessorization for this particular headgear was to apply this fabric flowers. Okay, these flowers are everywhere. You find it in any sewing accessories shop, anywhere where you can buy appliques from, they sell these flowers. So I went ahead to just glue on these flowers. Also, I used my needle and thread to hold the flowers in place because I found that the glue, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. Anyway, I first of all used my B6000 glue, and then I went ahead to do some hand sewing to make sure that the flowers do not, move out of place. For those that always ask me what glues to use, so typically if you're working with fabrics, you want to use your fabric glue, and yeah, it's either your B6000 or your UHU glue. That's your choice, all depends on you. Anyway guys, this is the final look of the headgear. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and my client wore her headgear for a wedding this past weekend, and she was really happy with the outlook. If you guys enjoyed the tutorial, please let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up. Okay, that thumbs up helps YouTube spread my videos to a wider audience, and it also lets me know that you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you have made it up to this point and you're not subscribed to my channel, please do well to join my beautiful YouTube family by subscribing to my channel. Also share my channel with your friends and family. Okay, there's love in sharing. Sharing is caring. Okay, let other people know what you're enjoying on YouTube. And yeah guys, I can't wait to see you all in another video next week. Bye.